Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, and I'm here to talk to you about affirmations and astrology for August 8th through 15th. How are you doing, dear sisters? If there are any brothers out there that's still watching, hello, how are you? Y'all know I love helping women align with their life purpose using ancient wisdom and the application of the goddess-centered lifestyle. Happy new moon in Leo. I feel like it's like a holiday. This is like one of my favorite moons of the year, even of the month. In my inner circle, I always tell them when the moon is in Leo, we getting ready to have a good time. As we say down in the South, we finna have a good time. All right. So yeah, I am excited to be here, on the full moon day. What's up? How are you doing? Good morning, Eileen. Iyami Atkins, Tasha Lynn is here in the house. How are you, Grand Rising sister? Yes, glad to see that you all are here. And yes, everyone else chime in. Hashtag replay if you watch this on the replay. We have some of y'all that might come in from Facebook, some of y'all that might come in from YouTube. Wherever you are, come on in. Let's do this. We got Miss Cindy Jones in the house. What's up, Queen? Yes, Eileen, Grand Rising Tribe. Grand Rising Tribe. How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there? So this week, I decided to come up with a theme. I'm retooling what I share. I think the affirmations are powerful, but I think I have to throw that word astrology in there to make sure folks click that play button, because I talk about astrology, on every video almost. So I looked at the energy for this week. And the theme I want to give it is this is a great week for looking at long-term plans. This is a great week for looking at long-term plans and creating action steps to move us in that direction. Yes, astrology is power. It is. It really is. Now, why do I say that? First and foremost, the long-term plans, there is an aspect that involves Jupiter and Mercury. And so this aspect, which means the planets are interacting. So whenever you listen to someone talk astrology and they're saying an aspect, that just means the planets are talking to one another. They're communing in some kind of way. Okay. Sometimes we're like, yes, more of that. And other times we're like, no, I'm good. I don't know how last week was for y'all. Y'all can let me know. But the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. Last week was a little rough. But I don't know what all the different signs felt. But I can tell you last week, I was like, oh my gosh, what the world? For me, I ended up not feeling well. And I'm like, what? What the what? But I'm better today. I feel pretty much 100, actually. Thank goodness. So yeah, there's an interaction between Mercury and Jupiter where we could potentially begin to see, like, what is the long-term goal, or what is the actual, maybe you can do some visioning this week. And it's such a good week to do that because today is the new moon, and we have this time of new beginnings. And so we can allow ourselves, and of course, we're in Leo season. Leo is about inspiration, and Leo is the astrological spiritual new year. And so it's the spiritual energy is high. We may not be able to see all of this energy. It's interesting. I was looking through my astrology journal, and it said today is it today? I might be wrong, but I don't know why I thought I saw today is the Islamic New Year. And I thought that can't be a coincidence, because I know that religion uses the stars quite a bit to set its holy days. I'm like, it can't be a coincidence that it's today. I do want to touch on the Lion's Gate again. I mentioned it the other day. A lot of times we make a big deal on social media about all these themes. And so we're hearing about 8/8 Lion's Gate. And so my teacher, who I trust with all my fiber, said that the actual portal where that involves this star Sirius. Sirius is involved in this Lion's Gate day, 8/8. But the actual transition of this star won't happen until August 11th or something like that. But one of the sisters, oh, I think her name is Courtney. I think it was her, Courtney, reminded me that this day is significant because, and my astrology teacher had mentioned this too, that the Nile River used to flood. There was some like really abundant flooding that happened in the Nile River Valley or something like that. And then the other thing that I thought about was I don't work with the fixed stars much. Sirius is a fixed star, but we know Sirius is it's a very powerful star. And it's related to the galactic center, and which is, it has to do with accessing this powerful wisdom of the universe. And so I am like, okay, I can buy into it if you give me the actual facts, the history. Then it's like, wow, this is a very powerful time for us. So between now and August the 11th, we can still open ourselves up to wisdom and visioning. It's so important for us to. What is your vision? I would love to hear from you. Are you in tune with your vision? And this week, give energy to it. I had some challenges at work. Yeah, last week was rough, Cindy. For some of us, it may be not for everybody, but last week I was like, wow, I'm really not happy. I'm not unhappy, but it was just like, this is not working for me. Hi, Shay. Glad you're here live. Also, happy new moon to you, sister. Abundance, abundance, blessings, blessings on you. So that's what I think is very important for this week, is to tap into your vision, to connect with the vision that you have for your life. And just remember, we have the short-term vision and we have the long-term vision. And I'll be honest with y'all, sometimes the long-term vision is one that I struggle with. And maybe it's just because I've been in stay-at-home mom so long. And so my greatest vision was working with my children and getting them to this point. And so now I have a new opportunity to go a little bit further into the future. So this week, I encourage you to do your visioning, and the energy is pushing you in that direction. Now, some of the vision may come from frustration because this meeting that's going to happen between Mercury and Jupiter is let me see here, opposition. Yeah, it means that they're 180 degrees from each other, which is a very challenging position. But this is also a week where we can tap into our power. So I would like to hear from you. Think about a time when you felt like I really tapped into my power, where you felt empowered. These are the memories that we need, because you're looking for those opportunities that allow you to step into your power this week. So I encourage you to really connect with opportunities and experiences that are all about you, the power that is within you. One of the things that we always have to remember is the power doesn't lie without, it lies within. And one of the things that I'll offer to you that we talk about in neuro-linguistic programming is that if we think about an equation, cause, effect, okay? The part of the equation we most want to be aligned with is cause. We want to be at first cause in our lives. And part of being at first cause, which means you create your life by design. You create it mindfully, you create it intentionally. How do we do that? Is we pretty much look at everything that we see and just say, okay, I'm an artist. This is one of the ways I look at it. I'm an artist, and this is the art that I have created. And oftentimes I'll take an assessment like, do I like what I see? Or Is there something that I need to retool? It's important for us to also move to this place where we stop all this judging of ourselves and being so harsh and hard on ourselves. Okay, if we messed up, we're human. We're in human form. Let me say it that way. We have a human part of ourselves. It's going to do human things. But part of the human experience is expressing our energy. And so we can look at the things that we create and we're like, thumbs up. And we can look at the things that we create and give it a thumbs down and say, wow, I'm a powerful creatrix. I'm a powerful creator. I created, I create whatever is happening in my life. It's astounding. Like, it's amazing. My artwork is flawless because when we're creating, we're operating according to divine law. Okay. And so that's the beauty of it. We're just here creating. Maybe that's another way to say it. We're creating because this is a part of the setup of the universe. And when we begin to operate from that place, when we are intentional and we see literally, and all you have to do is stop and think about, for a fact, the choices that you've made that led to a specific outcome. That was all you. Now, some of the things we create, we're like, no way did I create that. And when it comes to trauma, I draw the line. I don't really want to talk about that too much because that needs healing and we don't want to be victim blaming or anything like that. I'm talking about just, beyond that, general living and experiences that we have. Okay. So we'll put the trauma in its own category so that we can get healed up from it and not feel like, well, I'm a horrible person for manifesting trauma in my life. Okay, let's just think more of jobs and relationships and experiences. Think about the times that you know for a fact you conjured something in your life, right? You can do this. And all we have to do is bring more mindfulness and more awareness to this. Okay. And so these are the kinds of, going back to the cause and effect, this is how we begin to operate from our power. We say, I am going to make a determination about what's going to happen in my life. And this is what it must be so. And we will go to the ends of the earth to make it happen. That's just how I feel. Maybe not everybody feels like it's got to be that intense. But my thing is, if I want something, then I'm gonna make it happen. I might get help. I might get assistance. I might have some miracles happen that, open up the opportunity for me. I'm not saying that it would just be like through a bunch of hard work and hustle. Typically, it's about being aligned. But I do say we have to zone in and say, this is what I am manifesting in my life. This is how I'm standing in my life. This is how I'm representing and bringing myself into this world. Okay. And so this week, there will be, especially for women, because it's Venus in a very beneficial meeting with Pluto. And these two planets together, that's Venus is women, Pluto is power, woman power. This is a week for us to, really tap into our woman power, y'all. Let me see here. What else did I want to say about that? Oh, also Venus and Pluto, the aspect is called a trine. When something is trine, that means it's a lot of flow, ease, and blessings. So I'm not saying that this week will be easy for everybody. Again, the fixed signs, especially, the Leos and Aquariuses and Tauruses and Scorpios, this may feel a bit of a struggle, but oftentimes the struggle will breed. Now, we don't want to be in struggle all the time, but the struggle will breed a blessing. All right. The struggle will breed a blessing. All right. Let's put some money on it. All right. But yeah, this is definitely a week where we can find ourselves cha-ching, making some cash flow or making some good investments, realizing we had a good return literally on something regarding money when it comes to money. Some people who have investments in the, let me not speak on the stock market because that's a whole different kind of astrology that I'm just like, it's blowing my mind. I'm in a class for it and I'm just like, this is a lot. I will say the one thing that I would be cautious of this week is maybe some shenanigans of some sort. Sometimes when we have planets in what are called the mutable signs, because we have Pluto in Pisces, we have Venus and Mars, and even Mercury will be in um, Virgo this week. When we have several planets in mutable signs, especially when we involve Neptune, you could see some shady stuff go down. So what I will say is it's important to like keep your eye on your stuff. If you're out in public, don't think, oh, it'll be okay. No, it won't be okay. Tell yourself it won't be okay. Let me guard my stuff. Or be cautious if someone calls and is like, well, I just need your checking account information. Or be cautious of, like, if you feel like maybe I shouldn't put my credit card information in this thing. I remember one time I used an ATM in a hotel, and I'd be doggone, somebody debited my card for a charge that I didn't authorize. I was like, are you kidding me? So things like that we have to sort of be cautious with this week. Hey, Laura Marie, how are you? Good to see you. I had wondered if you were in Egypt. I didn't even know if you were really going or what, but I don't know. I just kind of had a feeling you were getting ready to make a big trip. So wonderful to see you. This is your new moon. Last year you had that new moon birthday, I remember. Okay. Now, I did talk about the new moon in a different video. I talked about that on, I think it was Friday. I went live, so you can check that out. But I will just tell y'all, this new moon is one that is about, I talked about having that vision, but it's about what practical steps are you willing to take. And so this week, I ask you to write it down. What practical steps are you willing to take regarding whatever it is you're trying to manifest? And if anybody has something that you're working on, let me know, and we can use your example to kind of explain how this works. So for me, practical steps that I'm taking are I'm getting back into working out. I didn't feel well. Okay. I didn't feel well on last week, so I stepped away from working out on a regular basis. So one of the things I'm going to do is write out what time I'm working out each day. That's the number one practical step I need to take. Write down, put it on my calendar, set some alarms for when this chick is going to work out. So I just want to tell y'all. So Laura Marie is saying she is leaving on her solar return for her trip. And so last year she had a birthday on the new moon in Leo. And I told her, get ready. You about to make some changes. And so look at how this cycle is ending. This is what astrology is. It's about cycles. She is leaving for a trip, a big trip on the 18th, which is her birthday, bringing that, it's like coming full circle, literally full circle. That is how astrology works. Because when you have a new moon birthday, it's a very big deal. It's a literal new beginning. And I just remember us talking about her making, and I think this was like from the beginning, Laura, if I'm correct, you had been talking about making a foreign trip, a trip to another country. Whoa, I'm just in awe. I am so in awe. Yes, Eileen. And maybe I needed that time off. So maybe you've needed the lazy week. And so now we can get back on it. But yeah, this new moon is one that is about having fun and being joyful and being proud of yourself. And it's also, though, about taking practical steps and getting real. So it's like, have that balance. That's something else that I'll tell you. This is a moon for balance. So yeah, but go back and just check the other video. Yep, Laura, I remember almost from the time you and I started talking, you were supposed to have made a trip. The trip didn't happen. And now here we go. I'm sure I did. My Virgo brain be working too much. Yeah, Virgos. Oh my gosh. Virgos just be, let's just say Virgos are very, very busy. Virgos are busy. Okay. So, what affirmations do I have for you all this week? I'm using what I consider, I pulled out all the cards that I see as Leo-esque cards because Leo is such an important sign. Most people are like, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? I'm scared to, use whatever it is. And so, how do we begin to move ourselves where we are not afraid to shine, where we feel comfortable being in the limelight for what we're known for what we're good for? Because think about this. You know how we talk about when you hide your light, no one sees it, right? Well, how in the world are you going to help somebody with this beautiful gift and talent that you have, this wonderful skill set that you have? Because sometimes some folks, what they shine at is something that you're very skillful in this way. Like I think about people who they just like have this knack for fixing cars or fixing things around the house. It's like, how did you even think to do that? Right? They don't have to read all the details like I would to fix something around the house. It's just a natural, innate ability that they have, but it's a skill, right? So how in the world is anyone going to get help? It's billions of people on this planet, and all we have to do is just help the few that we're supposed to help. You do not have to shine in front of all these millions and billions of people. I think that's where we sometimes get a little bit nervous about. It's like, man, there's a lot of people in the world. But if you think about it, if you touch 200 lives in a profound way with your gift, my God, what difference is going to be made in this world? Touch 200 people's lives is not you just touching 200 people's lives, is you touching that one person, one of 200. How many people are they going to come in touch with? You're touching their lives too through them. It's exponential. And then when we really begin to think about it, you touch them in a profound way enough. We're not talking generations. Okay. We're not just talking about people that are alive while we're alive. We're talking generations of people. Their lives will be changed. So my godmother, because she went on ahead and listened to this weird voice that she got about things she was supposed to do, touched me. I am talking to you. How many of you take what you learn here or just feel the inspiration and go do whatever you're supposed to be doing? And now you're touching other people's lives. This is how the good begins to go out into the quantum field. And so we have to take every season, every sign. We want to renew our commitment to that sign, because you have to remember, say for instance, for me, I have no planets in Aquarius. That doesn't mean I don't have any Aquarius energy. You have the entire zodiac within you, or if we want to talk Orisha, you have all the Orisha in you. You have all the archangels in you. You have all the animal totems in you. It's all in us. And so we want to make sure we renew our commitment to each one of these signs, because it helps us to magnify that part of ourselves and actually use it. Just think about it. If we don't acknowledge this light that's coming into our Leo house right now, then the Leo house is going to just be sort of stuck and stagnant, right? It's going to be a little cold and chilly up in that piece, right? So I just encourage you to take every Leo season, and even when the moon just on a regular basis is in Leo, when the sun is in Leo, other planets are in Leo, that you take that time to say, what's special about me? What's unique about me? How can I shine even more, like unapologetically? Does the sun apologize for shining? As a matter of fact, let the sun be covered by the clouds too much. Half of us going to be up in here crying and sad and blue and we having to put the lights on us like they do up in Alaska because there's not enough sun at certain parts of the year, right? That's how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to shine just like the sun. And the other thing that I relate to, Leo, is I am happy. Are you happy? Where can you do to raise happiness in your life? I am happy. I radiate joy from deep down in my soul. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to just be like, well, okay, I'm happy because maybe it's not a happy season in your life, you know? But when we feel the feelings of happiness, enjoy, right? Even the word that they used in here is joy. This is another word that has to do with Leo. Now, because we're conscious manifestors, we're conscious creators, we can make that choice to go out and just say, you know what, I'm going to have some fun today. Another thing about Leo is it's related to children. And so one of the things that I will do is if I see somebody post a video and it's something really cute with the kid, you know, I'm just like, you know, because I love children. So it's like, oh, that just made me so happy. So I'll watch cute little kid videos. We got Virgo season going on. So if you like animals, like I love watching, you know, the little cute little baby animals or looking at the little dogs and what they're doing and the cats. And, you know, I love watching the battles between the people who love the cats and the ones that love the dogs. Let me know. Are you a cat person or are you a dog person? Oh, wow. Eileen said her son can naturally fix anything. She said she waits for him. Girl, I would too. I have a son who's similar. I was like, can you fix this little? I had broken a cap for one of our bottles. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hand this off to one of my sons. So I handed it off to my younger son, and sure enough, he fixed it. I could not figure it out. So 30 days of night. Oh my gosh. Alaska is no joke. I was born in Alaska, just to give y'all a fun fact about me. But yeah, you want to take that time out to ask yourself, are you, or, you know, what can you do to bring more joy to your life? Maybe some of y'all need to go to a dance class, or maybe some of y'all want to go paint because Leo is very artsy. So that's something else I would do this week. But we connect with these affirmations in order to shift our energy. We just want to wrap our energy around what is the main vibration or the main energy I want to bring this week. I do perceive this is a week where we can feel happy, especially as we move to the end of the week, because there's no planetary meetings for the most part. Maybe some with the moon, but for the most part, the energy chills out. And one of the things that I emphasized in my inner circle video was to really appreciate the downtime, like really give thanks that we're having a little bit of a downtime because, yeah, I mean, if I'm being 100, y'all, I honestly believe December going into March is going to be rough, especially on a social level. But I just heard so many people really, because this one aspect that we've experienced already 2 times, it was rough on people. It was, I mean, I saw some stuff this last time that was just like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And so part of the reason we want to appreciate the downtime is because we want to catch our breath. We want to soothe our nervous systems so that we don't stay like, what's the word I want to use? I was going to say PTSD, but that might just be like way too big of a description. We want our nervous system to eventually settle down, or else if it stays in that heightened state and we keep the cortisol high, it creates health problems for us. And, you know, it short circuits our minds. And so we want to get this nervous system settled down. We want to have a good time. I perceive 2022 for some of us, most of us, past March to be a better time. But I do think it's going to be a little bit rough. No, I don't think it will be rough. I honestly believe it's going to be on the social level, though. Okay. Hey, Queen Murat Rogers, how are you? I was about to ask you that. Aquarius is opposite my sign of Leo, but I don't have any planets in Aquarius. What does that mean? So, your planetary placements, to a certain degree, I'll tell you one way to look at your planetary placements. They tell you something about your personality. Okay. And so that's one way to look at. You don't have any planets in Aquarius. That doesn't mean that you're not Aquarius like, but we would have to find out, what is your Aquarius energy like in a different way. I'll say it that way. But another way to think about it is it's the house, because that chart, the way it's sliced up, it's the house. And so your Aquarius house, uh, are you are you a Leo rising? I think you're a Leo rising, Laura. So that just means that your for Aquarius, you will have um it tells you something about the kinds of relationships that you will have. The sign itself on that house will tell you something about the relationships. Now I'm getting ready to go in a different direction. If you're learning astrology, just let this sink in if it doesn't make sense yet, because you'll catch it very, very soon, as you study more. So the ruler of Aquarius, the question is, where is that? And I use ancient astrology. So that would be Saturn as I teach it. Where is Saturn? The ruler of that Aquarius house, wherever it is, that also is going to tell you something about your relationships. So it's just, it's just different ways of understanding things. So if you don't have a planet in Aquarius, you still got Aquarius in you. It's just we have to look at, well, what house is that Aquarius sign on? That's going to tell you something about your relationships for the Leos, for instance. And then you have to look at the ruler. Where's the ruler of Aquarius? Wherever that ruler is, that's going to tell you something about, in the case of Leos, that will tell you something about your relationships. There's like layers. When we're thinking astrology, lots and lots of layers. So the first affirmation is, I am happy. I am happy. And then the second one I think is really important for, can y'all see it? I am positive. I think good thoughts and attract good things into my life. Now, what I'll say about this one is, being positive gets such a bad rap. Everyone's like, toxic positivity, we need to stop that. And I agree. I'm not going to be no toxic positivity person or whatever. However, I will say that we have in us this thing called negativity bias. And I think that we have negativity bias as a way to protect ourselves. And so we have to acknowledge when we have negativity bias going on, because we just, it's just like, well, I don't know if this is going to go well, blah, 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 or I don't know what they think, or, if you just find yourself in that rut where it's like, just monitor your thoughts, become aware of your thoughts. Are you just really negative about everything? Now I'm about get real. We're in a get real time, y'all. Let's not even play with that. We in a get real time for sure. So I'm about getting real, but if every thought is a get real thought, if we can't ever just think something positive, then perhaps we do need to go out of our way and bring ourselves into a more positive mindset, put ourselves in some positive situations. Sometimes when I feel uber negative, I will go and find someone who's talking about something. Sometimes it's a neutral topic. It just will make my mind shift, because that's the thing that I think is the most important. What can you do to get your mind to shift and move in a different direction? There's the goddess Oshun. I love this goddess. Her wisdom is called Oshe in the Orisha tradition. Oshe says, celebrate beauty over negativity. Celebrate beauty over negativity. And the way I like to talk about Oshun is I call her the queen of the reframe, because sometimes what we have to do is to say, okay, this sucks. I don't like what's going on. I knew it wasn't going to work, blah, 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 all these things that we say. And once we catch ourselves, then we can just go Oshun and say, okay, what beautiful thing can I tap into right now about this situation? Like last week, I was really frustrated that I had done so well in July with working out. And then all of a sudden, I didn't feel well. I was like really just ticked off about it. Right. And so I began to tell myself, you know what? You have workaholic tendencies. So let's just appreciate this downtime. Let's take it. You're not going to get better being mad about being not feeling well. Like, this is crazy. You need to do something about this, sis. So I began to just appreciate slowing down and relaxing more, sleeping more, because I have to sleep in order to get healed up. I just chose to think differently about my situation, because what I have been thinking ever since perimenopause is like every time I feel like I'm making some progress, I'm getting ahead, something will happen that feels like it sidetracks me. And I just get so mad about that. It's like, man, I used to just this is what I tell myself. I used to just be able to do whatever I wanted to do, whenever I wanted to do. It just seemed like everything popped off. Well, I had a lot of imbalance too back in the day. And it's like the piper has come home. It's like, you're going to pay me. You need to stop all this imbalance crap you do. So I chose to connect with my inner Oshun and reframe that thing. I chose to go positive and just say, you know what? I just got to make the best of what's going on right now and relax, chill the F out, right? So that's something that I would encourage you to do. You're welcome, Laura. Yes, Oshun, Oshun. Thank you, Queen Marat. Thank you. So let's just look at a few affirmations that I shared in the Leo masterclass, and in the new moon video that I made for my inner circle. So if you're my inner circle, I hope that y'all check out that new moon Leo video that I made. It's different from the one that I did on Friday, and I feel like it's one of the best videos ever made. It's like the more I talk about certain topics, the better I get at talking about them. It's like I can go deeper. So this is from Llewellyn. All I did was Google affirmations for Leo, or Leo affirmations, or something like that. I can assure you that if you do not speak power into your life, you just sort of get what you're speaking into your life. And I encourage you to be more intentional. And I often feel like, and this is because I know this for myself, I often feel like we avoid doing the small things because, it's not the big lion cracking the sky open with thunder and lightning, and fire all around them, descending from the sky, landing in front of us. We want all this big spiritual stuff to happen to us, when actually that happens as a result of us doing this Virgo thing, which is these small day by day steps. I saw one of the ladies from the inner circle made a post on her Instagram that talked about how just taking small steps is a really big deal. The small steps are what get you to the big boom, you're on the center stage. And, a lot of times when you hear people who are super successful, they'll say folks are looking at the end. They weren't there in the middle. Like, nobody is there for all of the hard work and the hustle and the mundane. I'm not saying that that's how we always have to manifest. It's hard work and hustle. But there's a lot that goes into getting to that moment of enlightenment, getting to that moment of feeling like, oh my gosh, I have arrived at this goal that I want. And so, I love y'all. So I'm telling y'all what I know is important for us to do. And part of that is you've got to speak it into your life. It's not going to just happen because it's so much programming coming into you. So you're just taking stuff in. All of us are just taking things in subconsciously. Think about all the crap that was spoken into your life when you were young. For so many of us, I give thanks for those that were affirmed as children. But a lot of us, it was a lot of crap that was spoken into us. And so we've got to go out of our way to push that out. That's what we do, in the waning moon cycle. And then when we're planting the seeds, we want to plant seeds using things like affirmations. And so I love these Leo affirmations. And this particular author, David Straussiner, I don't know his last, I can't say this name, has taken the time to allow Llewellyn to post affirmations for, all these signs. So you could always, just do the search on your own. I'll tell you some that I really love. I love this one. The universal power sustains me moment by moment. That's one of my favorite ones of these. How can you affirm that? First of all, just say it and then begin to ponder on it and look to see how is this manifesting in your life. Another one that I think is so beautiful for Leo is I radiate my inherent and true self with confidence. I love that one. I radiate my inherent and true self with confidence. And how many, like I said at the beginning, how many of us are hiding our true selves? We really want to begin to radiate the truth of who and what we are. And to be so confident in it that when people challenge us or try to, make us believe otherwise, we basically just laugh at them. I remember when I was young, people would tell me, you hold your babies too much. You're going to spoil them. And they would tell me I was just too attached to my kids. And I would always say, the proof is in the pudding. And after a while, these babies began to just be like happy children. And people were just like, wow. And they were just always really well-mannered and just polite and kind. And people would just go on and on and on about my kids. And I would just sometimes think about all the people who, told me I was doing it wrong. And I didn't fall for it. I just said, I got to go with what I feel I need to do for my kids. So yeah, we want to get to that point where we don't let anything move us to and fro. That's another thing about Leo. Leo's immovable energy. It's a fixed sign, is loyal, is devoted, is confident, and immovable. Some of our Leos we know in our lives, it's like, oh, Leo, you cannot tell them anything. They know that they know that they know. And I think that's a great trait. They show us how to just be immovable, unapologetic about who we are. Another one that I love is I am a center for the creative intelligence of my life. Yeah, this is what Leo has to do with creative intelligence. So go on ahead and be that center and allow it to come forth from you. The last one I'll share is I'm a beautiful and totally miraculous person in all ways. And all you have to do is think about how are you making yourself breathe? Making your heart beat. How did you get here? You're a miracle. It's like every baby that's born is a miracle. And we're not all small and cute like when we were little babies. So we forget the miracle of life that we are. And just to own our inner beauty. You can't tell Leo nothing. Leo knows Leo is all that. Even Leos that are sort of shy and maybe aren't walking fully in their confidence behind closed doors, they are roaring like they should. They know they are beautiful. Okay, let me see what y'all is saying. That energy really helps balance me out and take things easy, go with the flow. Yes. Yes, I watched the video last night. Very informative. Gratitude. So happy to hear that, Tasha Lynn. Yeah, that was one of my favorite videos. I'm like, wow, that was good. And part of the reason I really love what I shared in that video is because um, this new moon is just so, oh my God. It's not the necessarily the most glamorous energy because it has so much practical energy to it, but it's just I just really think that we have an opportunity to um, really manifest a lot with this moon. Yes, get it, Leos, get it. Okay, so that's what I have for you all today on this live stream. Thank you all so much for being here and enjoy the rest of your moon. So y'all can see I have on my my gold, and I put on my gold earrings, my little gold leaves. I lit my candle this morning at the start of the morning, and I wrote out my new moon intentions. And actually, I went through that list of affirmations also and just connected my energy to those affirmations. I revisited my vision boards. I have one in Canva and I have one that I put on my wall on a poster board. So I revisited those and just opened myself up to Leo assisting me, the energy of Leo assisting me for the next year. Yeah, I think that we need to connect with this energy over the next year because y'all look, when it's not necessarily fun, we're going to have to fall back on Leo. We're going to have to fall back on our inner joy and our inner radiance. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all so much. Wishing y'all a wonderful day. For the sisters who are in the inner circle, I will see you all tomorrow evening for our weekly gathering. And yeah, some of the sisters are actually doing one-on-ones with me. So I will be meeting with you all this week. And I want to do for the YouTube channel here and Facebook, I want to come on and do, well, I'll just go ahead and talk about Beyonce. I just think so many want to learn astrology. And so how do we learn astrology is you have to look at charts. You have to learn like what do the signs mean? And then you look at someone's chart to see how does that play out. Now, when you look at someone else's chart, then it shows you how to look at your chart. Okay. So astrology is very practical and it's like you have to learn a little bit and then apply it. Learn a little bit and then apply it. So I'll have to let y'all know which day I'm going to come on and talk about Beyonce's chart. Always, if you have someone's chart you want me to look at, let us sister know. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Happy new moon in Leo. Have a wonderful year. Okay. I knew somebody else was into Beyonce, and she's a Virgo. I never would think Beyonce is a Virgo, but because she's just so glamorous. And Virgo is a little reserved, but she's also a Libra of some sort, I think, too. So that explains a lot of it. And her Virgo energy is, I think, part of her genius, to be honest with you. I think that's part of her genius. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Happy new moon in Leo. I will talk to y'all in the next video or the next post. I made one last thing. I made a post today and I was like, hey, y'all, let's post some our new moon Leo pics where you styling and you profiling and you feeling good about yourself, and tag me in them on Instagram, Goddess BMS. B as in boy, M as in Mary, S as in Sam. All right. Y'all take care. See you later. Peace and love.